Welcome back, everyone, to Find Music. This is episode 232. After a 2-week hiatus due to computer problems, those problems have been solved. And so that brings us back to Fred. Take it away.
This week, I'm going to be talking about the British singer Richard Hawley, Hawley. He's been recording for well over 20 years and is not that well known in the States. 2001, he came out with a self-titled album, Richard Hawley. 2002, he came out Late Night Find. 2003, Low Edges. And then I didn't discover him until the 2005 album, Cole's Corner.
Oh, yeah.
A good friend turned me on to his music, and a reviewer said, his music makes me glad to be alive and grateful there's a Richard Hawley. Cole's Corner, when it came out, people started comparing him to Roy Orbison or even the crooning years of Scott Walker. He comes from a group, Pulp, and Pulp was produced by Scott Walker at one point in Walker's career. And Walker himself rates Hawley's voice up there with the all-time greatest. It's an understated beauty to his music and songs. A lot of reviews compare him to Roy Orbison, Elvis, of course, Scott Walker in his crooning years, like I said. In an early interview that I read many years ago, he actually said one of his big influences, folk rocker Bob Lynn from the 60s. He has an urban pop folk rock sound, many ballads. The title tunes of Cole's Corner is about a place that's no longer exists in Sheffield. That's where he comes from. It's powerful and has that 60s, 70s early production. And then he looks at youth and girls and fleeting nights of his hometown. And it's sweet, sorrowful, kind of dreamy, but also well-defined songs and music. Second album that I got into was 2007, Ladies Bridge. And it continues his songwriting confidence, very good songwriting. The song, Sun Refuses to Shine, Valentine, layered instruments, intense emotional lyrics. Again, he creates songs with such shimmering clarity. Roll River Roll. And what I like about him is he wears his influences clearly on his sleeve. He doesn't try to hide them. It's all in his music. It's simple, lush arrangements, but done very sincerely. Then 2009, True Love's Gutter starts out with Dawn Breaks and continues that throwback style of his. Ashes on Fire is a great song. It's more stripped down, world weary, as he muses on uncertainty and emotional hazards in life. He's a bit bruised and unshamefully sentimental. It's deeply textured, just in the right way to give what one reviewer said, an emotional wallop. It takes you to darker places this time, but it leaves you immersed in his songs. it grows on you and you come back to it and the songs just get into you, I find. Then he really shook up his fans with 2000, let's see, 2012 came out with Standing at the Sky's Edge. This was a complete turnaround. It's a loud, hard rocking psychedelic album. Plenty of distortion, kind of Verb and Oasis sounding, whirling guitars, squeaking, and plenty of feedback, unsettling atmosphere in the songs. It's dense and dark and moody. There's a 7-minute song, She Brings You Sunlight, and another good one with a lot of distorted vocals and hypnotic sounds is Time Will Be Your Enemy. His talent saves this album, and it was very different. It threw his fans off, but I loved it. The songs are deep and they just go in a retro, like I said, psych rock journey. It's a exhilarating album. Then in 2015, he came out with Hollow Meadows and came back to a bit of his old style. And starts out with I Still Want You. Like I said, it's familiar territory for his fans, romantic, dreamy. There's several guests on this album that adds color. From his Pulp days, Jarvis Cocker is on the album, and a folky Martin Simpson is on it. There's violins, a little bit of orchestration. And then there's some songs like Which Way, where he cranks up his guitar and does an incredible rock guitar sound. It's a thoughtful album. He digs deep into his past, and he's never sound better on this album. Then in 2019, he came out with the album Further, still with some grit and his softer sound. He mixes it up. Little Treasures start the album. Off My Mind, Galley Girls is a rocker. He's again contemplating, and he does some different types of styles with his gentle songs, and also cranks up his guitar on a couple of other tunes with sonic distortion and rocks out. His trademarks are all there, and lush arrangements, the understated vocals. I find this guy very intriguing, and it takes time for some people for him to grow on you, but I found that it's worth the while to investigate.
Mm-hmm. So were you familiar with Pulp before you got introduced to him?
No.
Okay. Because, I mean, they were very popular in England. With them, along with Oasis and a couple others, what was known as brit-pop. So I was curious about how much different music direction he took. Did he quit them, or did he just, or do you know?
I think they split up.
Okay.
Jarvis went for his solo career, and he went for his solo career. Yeah, I was going to look into Pulp. I haven't done that very well, but
Start with the early albums, early 90s.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's episode 232. Check out Richard Hawley if you're a fan of Pulp or Roy Orbison. Am I saying correctly? Yeah. Wow. Talk about a range.
Really?
Wow. Wow.
Check it out.